Hey guys, this is Mike Kim. Welcome back to my Diablo 3 channel. Recently I've been playing a lot of the Demon Hunter. There were quite a few changes to their abilities. One was the increase to DPS for the Hungering Arrow, if I'm not mistaken. They increased the percentage chance of it to pierce or something like that. So I was playing about with it, and I decided to make a few videos on the skill sets or the skill builds for a PvE hunter, and this is a PvP demon hunter. As you can see here, most of their abilities are linked to their damage as well as getting away free, that sort of thing. Evasive fire, what it does is it simply fires for 115% weapon damage, but if they are close to you, I'm not sure about the range, but when they are fairly close to you but still out of melee range and you use this ability, you will actually backflip away from where your cursor is targeting. So if you are targeting at an enemy and firing at them at the same time, you will backflip away from them up to 15 yards, but I picked up Displace, which increases that distance by 27 yards. One other thing, this will pretty much keep you out of melee range, especially from enemies or players that are primarily melee range, such as the barbarian or the monk. This is extremely useful, especially in a PvP setting. Also, in addition to that, it's a hatred generator, so it's pretty good. And there's the entangling shot, which 100% weapon damage, entangles up to 2 enemies, slowing their movement speed by 70% for 2 seconds. 2 seconds is not very long, but if you take heavy burden, it increases it to 6 seconds, which is a huge amount, because that means you can actually rotate between evasive fire and entangling shot as your hatred generator. And in addition to that, as they are always going to be slowed by 70%, and you're going to be knocking yourself away from them by 27 yards each time you use evasive fire, you are almost untouchable in that sense. Unless they have a gap closer and a stun like a leap attack or teleport and freeze you with Frost Nova using a wizard, you are going to be pretty hard to catch. And here is your single target ability. If you are not being targeted, it's rapid fire. If let's say an enemy player is chasing a teammate of yours, and you would rather help the person out using utility abilities, this rapid fire works very well as damage, and it also slows them down by 62% for 2 seconds. One thing I like you guys to take note is that rapid fire can be held down. It's a channeling ability. You won't be able to move while you're casting it, but it costs 20 hatred to cast initially and 10 hatred for every channel after that. This is good because you can continuously damage a person, and especially if they are not attacking you. But if they are attacking you, you would probably prefer to use evasive fire or entangling shot to get out of the danger zone. And here you have vault, tumble acrobatically 35 yards. I picked up the stun here. Enemies within 8 yards of where you land will be knocked back and stunned for 3 seconds. This is really a lifesaver. It provides you mobility and it gives you the utility of an additional stun that you can control. 10 discipline is quite a lot because you only have 30 discipline at the start. So this is like 33% of your total resource for discipline. Mark for death costs 6 discipline to cast. Marks an enemy. Mark the enemy will take 20% additional damage for the next 30 seconds. In addition to that, I picked up the golden runestone here. In the recent patch, they are no longer called golden runestones and whatnot. They are just called skill runes. So I'm not sure if this is still there. Mortal enemy makes all your attacks against the marked target generate 2 hatred. This will help with rapid fire. If you mark a target, you'll deal 20% additional damage and you'll be able to channel rapid fire for longer. And I picked up preparation here, which instantly restores all discipline, which allows you to vault once again. This is assuming that all enemy players are like chasing you all over the map and you really need to get away, and preparation will help. If you take the skill rune battle scars, it also it restores 70% of your life, which will be very, very useful. Thrill of the Hunt, every 10 seconds your next bow attack. What happens here, I've actually used this ability It unlocks at level 10 and beta is up to level 13. Every 10 seconds, your next skill that you use will immobilize the target for 3 seconds. This is really useful, especially when in PvP, because you're going to be moving around a lot, and when you see this icon pop up on your buff buff line, you will be able to immobilize the target. So pretty much you'll just be kiting for 10 seconds. When you see the buff pop up, you will burn the target down with rapid fire, and this damage increase against slowed enemies by 20%, and tangling shot will slow them for 6 seconds, and your subsequent evasive fire and entangling shot will deal 20% increased damage. Basically, you are wearing down your opponents as you kite away from them, which is quite good, as in this will be, in my opinion, the perfect kiting class. And sharpshooter gains a 3% chance to critical hit every second. This bonus is reset 1 second after you successfully critical hit. I have never tested this, but my assumption is that since it's a passive ability, gaining 3% chance to critical hit is very useful in PvP because it's all about the burst. Alright. One thing you'll notice is that I don't have a very hard hitting ability, but if you can increase your critical hit to like 100% while you're kiting away from enemies, which is pretty awesome, you are able to burst enemies down. But one thing I noticed that I was missing in this tree is a very huge chunk of damage. One thing here is that I was considering removing preparation for this, but on the other hand, it does restore 70% of your life, so I wasn't so sure about what I could take out. But if I had to, it might be entangling shot. The reason for this is I needed a very huge burst of damage in case sharpshooter did prove to be useful, because if it says gain 3% chance to critical hit every second, if I stay still for 10 seconds, I have 30% chance to crit increase as it is from a passive, which is pretty good for what it is. So if I could pick up something like Phantom Knives, it says here it does 450% weapon damage 10 yards away from me. If I could pick up this and choose Hail of Knives as my burst ability, this would be a huge amount of damage. But the thing is, to do that, I'll be giving up a lot of utility from slowing down opponents, so it will really depend on what I have on my team. What you'll need to really pay attention to is that your role in a PvP setting is either utility or to kill enemies really quick. So you must be able to set yourself up for this, because I can see a PvP fight going on where I mark a person. If I'm targeted by the enemy players, if they call my name out for the kill, I would either evasive fire to get away from them or vault. If I'm not the person they're targeting, I would probably cast rapid fire, or I will be kiting around like mad, pretty much, or picking targets depending on how the situation goes through. So anyway, this is my PvP build for the Demon Hunter, and it's very flexible, as in you can swap in and out between utility. I don't think you'll want to do it during battle, but for those really skilled players, they might be able to. But this is my PvP build, and you can see it can be swapped in and out as you see fit. And thanks for watching. This is Mike Kim. See you soon.